Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FPL Forbesy. It's wonderful to have you with me here today. We're going to start today's show by looking at the top scorers. But before we do that, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're new. And if you enjoy the content, hit that thumbs up. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Thomas Munier was on the radar for a few of you managers out there. But bang, did he deliver rather, coming straight off the bench for an injured Castagna who went off with a huge shiner. But Thomas came on, scored a goal, and got a nifty assist. If you're not considering him for your fixture or for his fixture against Denmark in matchday 2, definitely worth considering him. He looked in advanced positions and looked to be incredibly dangerous. And attacking returns for defenders are few and far between, folks. So get on Thomas Munier, get him in your side. Lucas Hardecki, in what can only be described as one of the most emotional games of football I have ever watched, and a huge, huge shout out to Ericsson. We wish you a speedy recovery and are so happy that you and your family are together and everybody seems to be safe and sound. Last I heard, Christian, best of luck. Hope to see you back on the football pitch as soon as possible. But Lucas had an absolute stormer for Finland, looked super solid, and I have to admit, what a bargain price at 4 million at a starting position. They are going into what probably will be a must-win fixture for Russia in matchday 2. However, the Russians up front looked weak and very unclinical. I don't see Russia being firm favorites in this fixture. And what an opportunity for Finland to get into the top 16. They will be fighting for a chance. Teemu Pukki might be worth getting into your side, ladies and gentlemen. But Lucas Hardecki, definitely one of the best picks for goalkeepers this time round in the Euros. Romelu Lukaku comes in here at number 3. What an amazing game he had against Russia, scoring a brace against them. He looks well on his way to getting the golden boot, ladies and gentlemen. And against the Danish side, which will be full of emotion and full of gusto to win the game, I suspect a very, very open fixture, fighting tooth and nail. Many of the players in this fixture, of course, are close friends with Ericsson as well. So it will be an interesting fixture, and I suspect some goals as well. So if you don't have Romelu Lukaku, ladies and gentlemen, get him in your side. The next one we're moving on to, of course, is Patrick Schick. Completely under my radar. Did not see him coming in and scoring 2 amazing goals against Scotland, who, to be fairly honest, looked very solid initially and were unlucky to score a goal or 2 in this fixture, but just looked unclinical up front, unfortunately for the Scots. But the Czech Republic looked really solid, I have to admit. And if there's going to be someone involved in a goal for them, it's definitely going to be Patrick. So they'll be looking for a win in matchday 2 against Croatia to secure their place in the last 16, which will be a very, very interesting group here, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm super excited to see more of Patrick. And if he isn't on your radar, definitely worth having a look at him and his stats. Players that are on my radar at the moment. One of them is in my side already. Domenico Berardi looked, to be fairly honest, one of the best players in the Italian midfield. He got a goal, he got a clean sheet, and he played 85 minutes. The other options, of course, were Insigne and Immobile for the Italian side. They both came away with points. But Berardi, for me, just looked like he's going to have an absolutely amazing tournament and is fitting in so well into that side. And at 6 million is a lot cheaper than those other 2 players I've just mentioned. So if you haven't got him in your side, definitely look to bring him in for their fixture against Switzerland. Switzerland played Wales and drew 1-1. They looked okay, should have won the fixture, to be fairly honest, but they came away with a draw, and I suspect that it'll be a high-scoring Italian game here. So Immobile is definitely someone to have your eye on, but Berardi in the midfield looked like he was in absolute top form. Next, one of the upcoming or one of the highest scoring defenders, other than Thomas Munier, of course, is Leonardo Spinazzola. and he came away with 9 points, a clean sheet, and an assist, and of course played 90 minutes in Italy's 3-0 hammering of Turkey. What was, of course, one of the most impressive things about Spinazzola is that he was in incredibly high positions, looking to get crosses and looking to break in and cut in field. And I see Spinazzola being a high scorer in this group stage against Switzerland. I suspect that they will keep a fairly similar side in matchday 2 and then look to rotate players in matchday 3, depending, of course, on the result of matchday 2. If they get a win, they are almost guaranteed or are guaranteed a place in the final 16. Hence why those rotations tend to happen in matchday 3 or on the final group stages. The other option that I am definitely considering is Denzel Dumfries. Looked fantastic at a price of 5.5. He got 7 points in the Dutch victory over Ukraine, a 3-2 thriller, I have to admit, and made me look at a couple of Ukrainian players as well for their fixture against Austria. Austria looked solid and very dominant over the North Macedonian team, and they won 3-1 in that fixture. But Ukraine will be fighting for a win to get into that final 16. And considering Austria have their win against North Macedonia, they will be looking as well. So I suspect a high scoring game here in the fixture between the Netherlands and Austria. And you best believe that Denzel Dumfries, in his advanced position getting up in the field, definitely someone worth considering. Now, if we head across to the fixtures for match day 2, remember you can rotate those captains. So for on the 16th, on Wednesday, you're going to be looking to captain one of the Italian players rather, who are playing Switzerland, Berardi, Insigne, or perhaps Mobliar. I have Gianluigi Donnarumma in my goals. I might captain him first, depending on how I'm looking at. Then if there's someone that doesn't score more than 8 points, of course, double that to 16. But if there's someone that doesn't score, if your Italian doesn't score 8 points, definitely switch him out then for captain for the second day of match day 2. This Ukraine-North Macedonia game, I haven't targeted yet, but I might be, considering that I will probably going to be using my Limitless chip in this fixture here in match day 2 and then wildcarding in match day 3. Looking forward to that. We'll have a better idea of who will be going through to that final 16, but definitely target these fixtures. This fixture here between the Dutch and Austria, definitely a potential. I know that we spoke about Dumfries here. Many of you might have the Austrian attackers from their fixture against North Macedonia. Potential captain options there. On Friday, the biggest fixture I think that you should be looking at here is England versus Scotland, captaining the likes of Sterling, Foden, Kane, and capitalizing here. Of course, if you're keen on the Patrick Schick idea, go ahead and get him captain against Croatia here. This is going to be a very, very interesting group and look forward to seeing that. And then finally on Saturday, if you're going to be captaining anybody, it should be the French players against Hungary. I'm going to be, of course, looking at that fixture this evening to make sure that I'm, how weak are Hungary? Are they looking solid at the back? Are they not looking solid? And how do France, of course, play? They still have their fixture to play today against Germany. Again, potential players there. And let's see how those attackers are looking for their fixture against Hungary on the 19th, on this Saturday, to potentially bring them in. I also wanted to show you and bring up Ben Krillin's graphic that he's got here of potential clean sheets as well as 3 or more goals to be scored, or predicted stats to be more than 3 goals in a game. If you're not following him already, Ben Krillin at Ben Krillin on Twitter, go ahead and follow him there. And interestingly enough, the highest here looks like it will be, as we've just mentioned, that France versus Hungary game at 0.40. Coming in at a close second is the England versus Scotland fixture. And then we have behind that Spain versus Poland. Spain and Poland, of course, neither got a win. Spain drew against Sweden. Poland, of course, lost 2-1 to Slovakia, so they will be fighting for a win. So Spain, what I saw from their play, they want to dominate the possession, and because they don't have a very clinical finisher up front, I see a 1-0 or maybe 1-1 game. I think that's just my personal opinion, but according to the stats, we should be expecting more than 3 goals in this fixture. Considering that both teams need a win, it might be a bit more open than we thinking already. So it's a potential there. But for me, I'm targeting the France-Hungary game, of course, the England-Scotland game, and the Dutch against Austria. A couple of differential that you might want to be considering, of course, is that Ukraine North Macedonia fixture, as we mentioned before, on the Thursday. And of course, the other fixture, which will be very interesting, is Croatia versus the Czech Republic. There's a couple of other differentials that you should be considering, but for now, this is what the update is from my camp. And if you've enjoyed the content today, please go ahead, hit that thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.